I don't know about you guys, but Alf and I have shifted our collection pretty dramatically in 2024. We're going to talk through that a little bit, and we're also going to preview a little bit of a video that's coming later in the week for card targets, goals heading into 2025. Stick around. What's going on, sports card hobby family? It's another day. It's another sports card video. Hopefully everybody is doing amazingly well out there. Are you getting in the holiday spirit? I feel like we've been in the holiday spirit. I've had a lot of fun this holiday season. Not fun is later in the week we do have to go to Ohio for a family funeral, unfortunately, but it will be good to see family and be together during this time. Also, I'm going to try to catch the Raleigh card show. We've got a huge card show this weekend here locally. I'm going to try to get there on Sunday. I believe we're driving back on Saturday. And so hoping to get back to be able to go to that card show because it's in my favorite building, kind of in the Raleigh Fairgrounds there. And it's going to be a big show. So hopefully can squeak in there on Sunday and see some people. We've got our Tuesday shout outs. Card Capsule. You want great supplies, but you don't want to pay a fortune for great supplies. Who does? I've got a coupon code, a promo code down below in the video description that'll get you some money off of some great supplies over there at Card Capsule. JustCollect.com. You've got a collection that you want to sell, but you don't know what it's worth. Head on over to JustCollect.com. They've got an easy peasy appraisal form there to get you started. They get back very quickly, and you can figure out what your collection is worth. Also, if you've never graded with PSA, take $25 off on me. It's the SCD25 code at the shipping and billing screen. Only a one card minimum. Try it out. See if you like PSA. $25 off SCD25 promo code. All right, friends, heading into 2024 and actually into parts of 2023, I made that kind of declaration that I really wanted to have some more foundational pieces to my collection. I was collecting a lot of volume for players that I really enjoy collecting. Drew Brees being one of them, is a huge New Orleans Saints fan. I also have a Tom Brady collection, and I have a Stranger Things collection, and I've got some other kind of smaller side collections. So the idea was heading into 2024, hey, look, there are a lot of iconic cards out there, and outside of some of the vintage cards that I've got that I really enjoy, what I felt like I was missing is just more of kind of these, pride of ownership, iconic cards, or if not iconic / important hobby cards. We'll sum it up like that. And so we'll start with the 84 star Jordan 101. I did get this card, and I've also got the Rookie of the Year as well as the Olympic card, going back to Jordan's rookie season. This is a card that I never really thought that I was going to be able to obtain, frankly. I was fortunate to do so. I know prices moved up, they've come back down, they've softened some. Really, the story behind this card right now is most of these cards, if you've been following it, most of these cards, they're graded by Beckett. Beckett was the only one grading the 101s going back, 15 years ago, I guess is about when they started grading these. PSA picked it up about 2.5 years ago or so. So the total population that you have in BGS slabs, I think it's 12 or 1,300, maybe it's 1,500. And then the population of PSA slabs, it's like 300, 350 or something like that. Now, there's a little kind of an arbitrage game that people are trying to figure out, and it's, okay, will my BGS copy cross over well to a PSA copy? And in many cases, the answer is no. So you might have a BGS 8 that if you send it to PSA, because their grading standards are a little bit different, and I'll speculate a little bit here that I think some of the BGS copies, I'm saying some, but many BGS copies are overgraded, especially ones kind of going back in time. And so eye appeal on this particular card for star collectors is incredibly important. So if you're someone that owns the BGS 8 and you know that this was probably going to cross over to maybe a 5 or a 6, then those folks are just sending those off to auction. They're selling them as a BGS 8, and who wouldn't really? If you don't feel confident that it's going to cross over well, then you're like, I'm just going to keep it at BGS 8, hope for the best. And so that's what's going on right now is you have PSA slabs that are doing pretty well. They've softened some, but compared to their BGS counterparts, they're still holding up really well. Now, the other part of this, I think, to kind of keep in mind is it's not helping the fact that BGS overall, just their reputation as a company. So this isn't just limited to softening prices for the BGS Star 101s. It's kind of across the board. You're seeing people that are just moving out of BGS slabs. There's a lack of confidence in this grading company as we move forward, PSA, of course, has the grading guarantee. And so the preference is on those PSA graded cards, obviously. And so that's where you have kind of a weird thing going on right now, where I think a lot of people are trying to contemplate, okay, do I want to buy this in a BGS holder? I think that's going to limit the amount of buyers, really, because frankly, there aren't as many that want to buy in a BGS holder as they would a PSA holder. And then you have people that are like, okay, do we need to cross this over? Should we go ahead and cross it? So over the next few years, I think you're going to see a lot of the BGS copies just move over into PSA. And I think that market's going to kind of figure itself out over the next few years. But all in all, so happy I was able to get into that card, and it is a long-term hold for me. The short-term price movements, they're irrelevant to me. Other than if they do crater in PSA holders, I'm looking for more. And that's about it. Next up, I got a card that's always been on the want list and finally just decided, you know what, I'm going to consolidate cards, smaller cards, and that's what I've been doing really over the last 18 months. The $50, $100 slabs, moving them into larger cards, and the art to Bart going back to 1993 Skybox Simpsons, where of course you got the redemption card, you turn that in, and then you got the original art matte graining drawings. They're all different, which I think is cool. Some of them look similar, but they're all one-of-ones in their own right. They're all different original sketches. The original sketch card tied with another card that's not very well known, just not an IP that anybody really knows, but it is considered the original sketch card, which of course, when you see a lot of Marvel card collectors or Star Wars cards collectors, there's a lot of sketch card collectors, and that all started going back to 1993 with this type of deal. So this just has a really cool story. My 9-year-old right now, it's just really funny. We watch a couple of episodes of The Simpsons every day. We started from season 1 and just kind of going through the evolution of that show. There's a billion seasons of it now. It's the longest running TV show of all time. We're on season 3. And actually, he's been knocking on my door to come and watch a couple of episodes. That's something we've been doing, which makes me very, very happy. As The Simpsons was a show growing up, it was always in living color in The Simpsons on Sunday evenings, as I remember. I think they kind of moved nights around throughout their series, but I remember Sunday evenings before going to school on Monday, there was in living color and there was The Simpsons on Fox. 2008 Rittenhouse Robert Downey Jr. autograph. Again, another one that was not on the radar simply because I've looked at pricing on these particular cards and I favored the one where he inscribed 2008 on it. And when you look at pricing on those, they are just always very, very high. You know, it's like the type of thing where you're on eBay and it's like $50,000 OBO type thing. And it's like, okay, well, I'm never going to get one of those. At Hakes Auctions, which, by the way, there is a wicked Hakes Star Wars auction. There is a private collection, maybe the most prolific Star Wars action figure collector in the world, is selling his entire collection, or at least most of it, I believe, through Hakes Auctions in January. I'll be talking with those guys over there. We'll have the team back on the channel to talk through it. But anyways, that's a side note. This card popped up on a Hakes auction and it kind of flew under the radar a little bit. And I didn't get any sort of like amazing steal on it, but I got a good price for it, especially considering the inscription. I believe there was a couple hundred copies in total. And then out of the couple hundred copies that were put out, you've got, few of them have that 2008 inscription on them. And so that's where I thought, man, that's a really special card to add to the collection. Again, a long-term hold and just something I can really enjoy. Of course, going back to 2008, that Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. character really propelled Marvel forward. We're now, 15 years later. Now you've got, the Marvel Cinematic Universe that has grossed more money than any IP ever in the history of cinema. And you've got the comic book speculation windfall that kind of came from all the movies. You still hear comic book YouTubers talk about it now, the new movie coming out, the new show coming out, the speculation behind this modern book or this vintage book or whatever it is. And so this is a very important card, especially in the Marvel card collecting universe. I know this is a sports card collecting YouTube channel for the most part, and my viewership is mostly on the sports card side. But again, when I was looking to move around and shake things up heading into 2024, it was really just about really, really unique pieces that mean something overall in the trading card world, but then also to me as well. Finding that perfect combination of things, this one fit the bill. Back to my New Orleans Saints, we're struggling this year, but our best player and our best offensive weapon, maybe of all time, Alvin Kamara, I was able to pick up in January of 2024 his gold prism out of 10 is true gold in a BGS 9.5 And I was actually really surprised at the price point. This is a card during the pandemic times that went just astronomical. I think it was over $3,000 in price, and I got it for about $500 in a BGS 9.5. It just worked out. I think it was like 750 OBO, and I was almost about to just hit the bin on it, and I was like, you know what, let me just try to get kind of a deal on it, and was able to get a better deal on that card. Fortunately, he did extend with the Saints. We've got no cap space. We're struggling like crazy. It's a total rebuild for us. I mean, over the next 2 years. But we secured Alvin Kamara, my favorite player on the roster, and he'll go down as the best New Orleans Saint outside of Drew Brees, especially in the running back position that we've ever had. And so I've picked up some of his gold prism type stuff, different inserts, gold out of 10, his contenders auto, gold out of 10. So picked up some nice cards. Again, when you're collecting running backs, which now all of a sudden I'm seeing now that running backs like the Black Finite, Derrick Henry, I think just sold for like 25 grand or something, or 23,000. So all of a sudden, some of these like really nice cards of the running backs, they're starting to get some hobby love. But it doesn't concern me because, again, this is a card that I want to hold on to. I'm not looking to sell it. I was really, really happy to be able to pick it up, and it's going to sit in my collection, and just very happy. Hopefully Alvin Kamara retires a Saint. And last but not least, here in 2024, I've got, of course, my Stranger Things collection, but I picked up arguably the best Stranger Things card that exists, and it is the only known gold auto 1/1 that I have ever seen surface. I've now been collecting these for almost 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. I've never seen a 1/1 gold auto, and this one is from the season 1, series 1, which makes it even better. And it happens to be of my favorite character, Hopper. It's the police officer, the one that's trying to keep the town safe, and it's all falling apart. Season 5 is coming up, this year. And Stranger Things, for my family, we've been watching this show for years and years. We're really big into it and excited for this upcoming season. So to be able to get that card at what I felt like was really reasonable price, especially just comparing it to the world of sports cards. And again, it is the best Stranger Things card as far as rarity, scarcity, importance, and that sort of a thing. And I was able to obtain that here recently over the last month. So 2024 has been massive. I don't expect the same number of cool additions in 2025, but I am going to again focus on important pieces as we head into 2025. And that video will be coming up in a few days where we talk through just the mindset behind it, the items that I'm really looking for, and just kind of give a little bit of a tease there, preview. There is going to be more of a focus, very specific focus on vintage in 2025, and I'll explain all that here in the next few days. Friends, thanks very much for joining me here to talk through some of the big cards and the shift in mindset and the shift in the collection in 2024. How has your collection shifted at all? Have you made some changes in 2024? And what's going to happen for you in 2025? Let me know in the comment section. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.